My first day in Europe was a disaster. Not the kind you plan for. Not the kind anyone warns you about. Just small things, going wrong. Over and over again. I didn't miss just one train. I got confused. I went the wrong way. I kept fixing one mistake. Only to create another. And the worst part? Nothing looked broken. The trains were on time. The system was working perfectly. I just didn't understand it. And that's what made everything fall apart. Chapter 1, Arrival Confidence. When I first arrived, I felt ready. Everything was planned. Routes saved. Tickets booked. I had watched videos, read guides, I thought I understood how everything worked. So when I stepped into my first station, I wasn't nervous. I was confident. People were moving quickly around me, but I didn't feel lost. I told myself, just follow the signs. It's simple. And at first, it looked simple. Big screens. Clear times. Trains arriving exactly when they should. Everything felt organized. Predictable. Easy. So I moved the way I thought I should. Calm. Unhurried. In control. But that confidence was based on something dangerous. Assumptions. I assumed the system would be easy to read. I assumed I had enough time. I assumed everything would work the way I expected. And that's where it started to go wrong. Because in Europe, the system works perfectly. But only if you understand it. And I didn't. Not yet. And in the next chapter, one small mistake broke that confidence completely. Chapter 2, The First Mistake. The first mistake didn't feel serious. It felt small. Almost invisible. I looked at my ticket and saw I had about 10 minutes to catch my next train. 10 minutes felt safe. So I didn't rush. I walked out of the train, looked around, and followed the signs at a normal pace. Like everything was under control. But within seconds, something felt off. The station was bigger than I expected. There were more platforms than I imagined. And the signs didn't immediately match what I had in my head. I paused. Just for a moment. To double-check. Then I walked again, then stopped again. Trying to make sure I was going the right way. And without realizing it, those small pauses started adding up. That comfortable 10 minutes was disappearing. I started walking faster. Then faster. But now I wasn't calm anymore. I was guessing. Guessing the direction. Guessing the platform. Guessing that I still had enough time. And that's when I made the real mistake. I trusted what felt right, instead of checking what was actually correct. By the time I reached the platform I thought was right, I saw the train pulling away. Right in front of me. And just like that, the confidence I had when I arrived, was gone. Because now I wasn't just late. I was confused. And in the next chapter, that one mistake started to affect everything else. Chapter 3, Everything starts going wrong. After missing that train, I told myself it wasn't a big deal. Just take the next one. Adjust the plan. Keep moving. Simple. But that's not what happened. Because once I checked the next connection, nothing felt simple anymore. The times didn't line up the way I expected. The platforms were different. The route wasn't as clear. And suddenly, I wasn't just following a plan. I was trying to fix a problem. I stood there, staring at the departure board, trying to make sense of everything. Different cities. Different times. Different trains. It looked organized, but it didn't feel clear. I picked the option that seemed right. Not because I was sure, but because I didn't want to fall further behind. And that's when the stress started building. I moved faster. But the faster I moved, the more mistakes I made. I checked the wrong platform. I followed the wrong direction. I kept second-guessing myself. And every decision felt rushed. Because now, time wasn't on my side anymore. One missed train had turned into confusion. And confusion was turning into pressure. That's when I realized something uncomfortable. This wasn't just about missing a train. I didn't understand how the system worked. And until I figured that out, I wasn't going to catch up. In the next chapter, I'll show you the exact moment everything finally made sense. And what I had been missing the entire time. Chapter 4, The Realization. The moment everything changed, wasn't dramatic. No one came to help me. No announcement explained what I was doing wrong. I just stopped. For a second, I stopped moving, stopped rushing, and actually looked at the departure board. Not quickly. Not casually. Carefully. And that's when I noticed something I had completely ignored before. A small detail, that was everywhere. The train number. It was on my ticket. On the board. On the platform screen. And suddenly, everything started to connect. Because I realized something I should have understood from the beginning, I had been following the wrong thing. I was looking for the city name, when I should have been following the train itself. And that mistake explains everything. Why I got confused. Why I hesitated. Why I kept choosing the wrong direction. Because in Europe, multiple trains can show the same destination. Same city. Different routes. Different platforms. And if you're not matching the train number, you're guessing. That's when I changed how I moved. I matched the train number on my ticket to the board. Then to the platform, then to the train. Step by step. No assumptions. And for the first time that day, things felt clear. The station didn't feel overwhelming anymore. It felt structured. Predictable. Even simple. That was the moment everything shifted. Not because the system changed, but because I finally understood it. And in the next chapter, I'll show you what I should have done from the beginning. The simple rules that would have prevented all of this. Chapter 5, What I Should Have Done. Looking back, none of this had to happen. Not the missed train. Not the confusion. Not the stress. Because the system wasn't the problem. My approach was. If I had understood just a few simple things from the beginning, my entire first day would have been completely different. First, I should have followed the train number, not the destination. That one detail would have removed most of the confusion instantly. Because in Europe, the destination isn't enough. Multiple trains can take you to the same place, but only one of them is the right one for you. Second, I should have trusted the departure board, not my assumptions. Not my memory. Not what I thought I saw earlier. The board updates in real time. Platforms change. Details shift. If you're not checking it, you're already behind. Third, I should have used my time differently. Not walking slowly. Not assuming everything would work out. But observing. Understanding the station. Positioning myself early. Paying attention before it became urgent. Because once things start moving, everything moves fast. These aren't complicated strategies. But they change everything. They turn confusion into clarity, stress into control. And most importantly, they stop small mistakes from turning into bigger ones. Because that's what really caused the problem. Not one big failure, but small mistakes, repeated. And once I understood that, traveling in Europe stopped feeling overwhelming, and started feeling simple. Ending, why first-time travelers struggle. Looking back, my first day in Europe didn't go wrong because the system was broken. It went wrong because I didn't understand it. I thought I needed more time. Better planning. More control. But none of that was the real solution. Because in Europe, travel doesn't get easier when you try to control everything. It gets easier when you understand how things actually work. That's the difference. The travelers who struggle aren't the ones who make mistakes. They're the ones who keep guessing. But the ones who move confidently, they're not lucky. They've just learned how to read the system. And once you do that, everything changes. The stations feel simpler. The decisions feel clearer. The stress disappears. Even when things don't go perfectly, you know how to recover. That's what makes travel in Europe powerful. Not perfection, but consistency. So if you're planning your first trip, don't focus on doing everything right. Focus on understanding how things work. Because once you do, you stop feeling like everything is going wrong, and start feeling like everything is finally making sense. And in my next video, I'll show you the easiest European cities to navigate as a first-time traveler. Places where you can move around without stress from day one. Watch that next. It will make your trip even easier.